نفس ولا تحيا هباء يا ربيعا أنت والعطر الرداء حرر النفس ولا تحيا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. 10 minutes past 7 if you have just tuned in to Morning Rush on this Wednesday morning, being the 8th of Safar 1438, the English date being the 9th of November 2016. And as we know, the whole world waiting with awaited breath as to see what is the results of the United States elections 2016, which took place yesterday, and the polls are closed and now they are doing a vote counting, etc. So as the world focuses their attention on America this morning, we focus our attention as well on the American elections. We are joined by Brother Mehmet Cicek, who is a management consultant based in Virginia, in Washington, D.C. area. We say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you, Brother Mehmet.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Jazakallah for joining us on this Wednesday morning. I'm sure it's late in your side of the world. Is it a boy or a girl, as the question on many people's lips this morning?
It's still yet to be determined. I mean, it's a very close race right now. I was just actually watching online right before we connected. It's getting closer to be a boy. Right now, there are, the whole country is actually locked into 4 major states, which are Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, and New Hampshire. So depending on which side that it goes to, that will most probably determine the results. But it looks like it's getting closer and closer to being a boy as the minute goes by.
When we look at the elections, Mehmet, how did it go? We know before the elections there was much talk and fanfare with both camps, the Clinton camp and the Trump camp, and now you're making mention that it looks towards a boy. Was this expected in your opinion?
Nobody expected it to be this close. I mean, there was a lot of rhetoric that happened from Trump's side, a lot of tax email discussions that happened again on Trump's side. And on the other side, from Hillary's side, it has been a lot of, email scandals and FBI calling her extremely careless. But the people in general had some sort of like a trust issue towards Hillary Clinton. So right now, people did not expect it to be this close. And they were seeing Hillary as definitely being the stronger side. But reality always surprises people. There's the plan and then the actuals. So the actuals seem to be a little different than what the expectations were.
In your opinion, looking at the results this morning, you say many people would have been surprised. What do you think might have changed many of the voters' minds within the United States? We're not looking at Muslims as a whole. Inshallah, we will discuss the Muslims' participation within the elections as well. But looking in a general view, what was the opinion on the ground before elections with regards to who should they be voting for? As we know, the amount of rhetoric and the Clinton saga and the Trump tax evasion saga, did that shape the opinion of the minds of the people when going to vote, or is it just I am a Republican, I am a Democrat?
It was definitely not I'm a Republican or a Democrat, because there are what we call blue states, which were Democrats for many, many years in the past elections. And right now, some of those states seem to be the red states, which is the Republican side. So there is a flip on certain things. So that means even there are some Democrats right now that are not happy with the situation or the candidate that changed their minds and went the other way. What's happening here is basically people were looking for something different, right? And the Trump's biggest strength in that way was he constantly kept talking against the typical political fight. It was more around how we need to do certain things because we've been doing certain things in a certain way, and clearly it's not been working out. So he pulled that side. So people, from the results so far, from what we see, people seem to value that a little bit more over all the hate speeches and the rhetoric and the scandals that's been talking, that's the population and the media has been talking about. So it's definitely people just listen to another side of the story from both sides. And from what we see so far, it seems like they've found Trump's, um, strategy a little bit more appealing, something different.
When we look at the campaigning of Donald Trump, Mehmet, we see the Muslims were in the limelight as well with regards to his rhetoric. What is the Muslims feeling within the United States and their in interaction or taking part in the elections of 2016 in America?
So Muslims were worried even before Trump. Lately, there has been a lot of talks and discussions about Islamophobia. It's been a hot topic. A lot of the Islamic leaders, even in the States, have been talking about this in general, especially with things that are happening in Middle East right now with ISIS, emerging from basically the Middle East out of nowhere. And media has been pushing a lot of news in reflecting this as an Islamic practice, unfortunately. So Islamophobia has been there even before Trump. But with Trump's rhetoric, and it's not only against Islamophobia, it's not only Islamophobic, but he had his rhetoric against racism. He was a very sexist person when it came to certain talks. So Islamophobia again was there. It's been growing with this rhetoric, and it's been more along the lines of obvious in the population. So as to what part Muslims will take, I think that's a wait and see game. We'll see how it goes. But thinking about it, we're all religious people at the end of the day. And our Prophet and the Sahaba went through much harder times like Uhud, right? They lost a battle, they lost lives. Regardless of how hard the situation is, we seem to be in a much better position than what our beloved Prophet ﷺ went through. So we'll see how it goes. We have to be very smart. We can't let emotions or instant decisions take over our capacity of acting smart. So it's a wait and see game. We'll see what part Muslims have to play, but we'll definitely have a even more important game to play. Absolutely, a more important part to play, and we just have to be smart about it. We don't have the luxury to say we don't want a part of it.
Talking about Islamophobia, Mehmet, we know after 9/11 we saw Islamophobia increase, especially in the United States and other parts of the world. In your opinion now, with regards to 2016 elections and Donald Trump's campaign and rhetoric, not only against Muslims, we find it against the Mexicans as well. And when it came to Islam and Islamophobia, do you think, in your opinion, that after this elections and the results of these elections, has this then drawn a line within America, within the United States, that the Muslims are either with us or against us?
I don't think so. I mean, there is the speech that people give. In this case, we're talking about Donald Trump. And the reason why it's been so hotshot is because he's running for the president of a big nation, right? So it's basically a way of, it was the game he played. But as to how you look at it in 2016 and how we're gonna go forward with it, it's just as time goes by, we have to be smart by it. Nothing will change because at the end of the day, again, there is the speech that he picked, but there's also a system and law and constitution in this country that are backed by not only the actions of the president, but also different parts of the political system. So people are thinking towards more that he's going to actually back from those strong opinions, and he's going to go find a middle way as to making things a little better and smoother. Is there not going to be a stressful time? Absolutely. It's not only for Latinos, Mexicans, Muslims. It's going to be for everyone. I mean, he's been talking about building a wall for all this time, which I don't even know if it's feasible to do, right? So again, it's just a matter of time. We'll just have to wait and see. but I don't think it's going to be as strong and as critical as he kept pushing in his speeches, only because there's still a strong system and democracy in this country.
Talking about a strong system, Mehmet, let's now look at Islam in America as we have you on the line this morning. Maybe you can just enlighten our viewers with regards to Islam in America and the growth of this religion within the United States.
Sure. So there are amazing madrasas that are being built in every corner of this country. And every single one of those madrasas have been run with really, really valuable gems. They are amazing, valuable gems. The shuyukh here are blessed with amazing knowledge from the Middle East side, from that traditional way of our, roots and culture. And then they put on even more of an education with their PhDs and whatnot here. So they are the perfect package per se, right? So these people are giving amazing, amazing dawah in this country, and they're spreading the word stronger in a more silent way than the media would show. Although the media is showing, intense scenes or reactions from certain parts of the population, there are many people in this country that are not Muslims yet, but they are extremely attracted to Islam, right? And it's not a guarantee. Like we're not really looking at them in terms of possible converts or potential Muslims, but these guys are really clean, pure-hearted people that just want happiness for everyone. They are great people, and once they see the beauty of Islam in this country through those madrasas and amazing shuyukh, and once they see the people practicing them, the nice people, the actual Islamic representatives of this community, they get to look in a much harder, like much more, warmer environment. And I think that's a big, big potential, and that creates a very, very strong foundation for Islam to actually grow on, inshallah, in these lands.
Inshallah. Lastly, Mehmet, we see you are a consultant. So if a person who is a voter came to consult with you this morning or this evening there in America and asking you for the future, what does it hold for the United States of America? How would you consult with them, or what would you tell them?
Regardless of what happens at certain times in life, this is still a very strong, a great country. We would love to believe that. We have believed that all these times. That's the reason why we've been in this country for so long. I've been here for 16 years. In just a few years, it's going to be majority of my life that I'll be here for this, in this country. But you can't see the future. Obviously, consulting is easy to do in corporate life, in corporate America. It's not easy to do when it comes to the future predictions. Everyone has a plan, and then Allah has a plan. We just have to take it and seize the moment and try to do our best, and whatever comes after, we're just judged with our intentions and what we do, really. We can't really see the future, and there isn't much that we can do about it. But I have hopes. I have hopes. There's always good in what we see bad, and there might be some bad in what we see as good. So whatever Allah wills for this country, and if that's Donald Trump being the president, that means there's something that's some sort of height in it that we don't just get to see it yet. But inshallah, the future is always going to be bright, inshallah.
Jazakallah. Brother Mehmet Cicek, a management consultant based in Virginia, Washington, D.C. area, speaking to us about elections in America this morning and also Islam in America. Jazakallah so much for joining us this morning here in South African time. We know it is late there in America. Jazakallah for taking up some of your time and enlightening our viewers of what is exactly happening when it comes to elections 2016 in America and Islam in America. But please go well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you and your family. Please do remember us in your du'as as well. Fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. It's been my pleasure.